All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State and TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
Ready up, 55, right there in the middle, 50. Leo. Shoot. Fight.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. He takes this for 3 to the 29. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Check safety. Recon, 132 fighter. Whip. Watch the whip. Jam him. Hey, Sam on. Get it.
On second down, here's Fournette. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. You remember me? Mike.
Minshew throwing on 3rd down. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Here's Switzer. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Got it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Go. Under crunch. 44 to Mike. Check. Touchdown. Go on. Let's go.
On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, Richard. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, and now it's second down.
Ready? 47. Check, 47. Let's go, baby. Return over. Get that ball.
Richard trying the right side. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun, Eason. And And the throw there going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked out and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Out of the pistol, it's Fournette. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Hey, Delta. Yo, fast now.
Fournette, a first down carry. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, Charlie. 5.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Minshew. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. A shotgun give to Fournette. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 39, Minshew. The catch made by James O'Shaughnessy, the tight end. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 43. First carry for Raquel Armstead. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. So back at the midfield stripe now, they'll come up 2nd and long.
Hey. Hey, Wahoo. Leo. Ready?
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. It's the correct call.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And he cuts it right into space. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 30.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Let's go. 60 or. Fair.
They'll try the right side here with Fournette. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now Minshew, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Hey, World. Mike, 50. Hey, rock it. Watch the run. Fight.
Fournette running out of the gun. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. An 8-yard gain, so that gets them halfway there. Now they're left with a 3rd and 8 more. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
You're out.
Minshew sets to throw. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Leo. Hey, Sam off.
They'll toss it to Fournette. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
60 Pittsburgh. Draw. Bravo. Alert 3. Ready.
Throwing on 2nd down. Minshew. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll go play action here with Minshew. He's going to go up top for the end zone. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Lane. Then he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
On first down, Richard. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill out the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
2nd and 6. Flush to his right. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Alert flare, alert flare, flare, flare. Cue.
2nd down and goal. Minshew to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Check, check, check. 49, check 49, check 49. Slam, slam.
Now.
Check 3, check 3.
Go, go.
Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is
And
50. You got nothing in there.
look, squeeze. 5.
They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Leonard Fournette, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown. So 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. The run there on first down gets him a yard to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Looking to throw. Eason. And he finds McDonald. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And he's got this down to the 35. 12 yards that time and a Pittsburgh first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Johnson, the intended target. That'll bring up second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Throwing again. Eason. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't
would do
even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Go!
At their 48-yard line.
Off play action, it's Minshew. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Hey, Echo.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. Hey, watch.
Leo.
Check 31.
Now.
Here's Minshew. That's out to his running back, Fournette. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
Check safety.
Minshew, 1st and 10. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And this is taken in at the 5. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
Go on.
Jim.
Yes. Hey, orbit.
Watch twist. Check.
Get it.
They're going to run this with a tight end. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. They'll come out in the pistol. And this Fournette territory here, and he's alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal.
Smith.
Looking to throw it. Minshew. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. D.D. Westbrook. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
This quarterback now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Operating from the gun, Eason. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. 4 seconds left, and there's the timeout. In field goal range and a chance to tack on 3 before intermission. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. Boswell's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
80 weapons.
They'll run on first down. Richard. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 27 yards there, a first down.
On the double. Fair. Look at me. Go.
On first down, Richard. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because...
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Vance McDonald, his second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Rock it.
They'll run it again with Fournette. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. A pass there, complete to Westbrook. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
70, Indy. Check. Good. X3. 218, chop it. Check three. Let's go.
On the draw, this is Fournette. And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Rush in.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Hard.
They'll run on 1st down. Richard. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Big stop, let's go.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, DJ Hayden. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of...
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Leonard Fournette, his 2nd touchdown of the night, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. To throw again, Eason. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Well, here's a first down throw that's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, Eason. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Ready? 50, play.
Let's get off the field, D.
Shoot.
On 1st and 10, Eason. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's a give to Fournette. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Jacksonville. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Again, it's Fournette. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 29-yard line. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. This is Fournette. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Minshew. He's got his tight end, O'Shaughnessy. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That one, a first down pickup of 8. This quarterback now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. They'll run with Fournette, and he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
A 3-yard pickup.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, lock it. Hey, Zoo. Rock it.
Check. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Shoot.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
He can't hang.
Go out.
He's not going to get me.
Out of the gun is Minshew. This one complete over the middle to O'Shaughnessy. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Leo.
This is Richard, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Eason. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. From the gun, Eason. This is Johnson. He's got it. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Off play action. Eason. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Back to throw. Eason. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down. A really nice knockdown. He gets so much pressure in these situations on defensive backs. What are they taught?
Play the ball, not the man, because if you have a pass interference penalty in this spot, boy, oh boy, you put your team in a bad place.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And this is going to be intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. In a tie game fourth quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew in certain situations the type of plays they like to run, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Here we go. 8 reads.
Strong left, strong left.
There. Hey, exit.
Alert flare, flare. Mike 50,
Go.
50. Brilliant.
Hey, Delta.
Mike 50.
Now.
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Look at me. Go.
Check.
Now.
Check. 49. Check 49.
Hey, Charlie.
Mike 50.
5.
He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Look. Squeeze. Get it.
Back to throw.
Check 3.
He's going to let it fly. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down.
Watch the shot.
You draw corpus.
Check. He's cracked.
Hey, Alpha.
Spot.
Hey, lock it.
Spot.
Layup. Shoot.
On fourth down, Minshew. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. They get out.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan.
Like the footwork back there. I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And that's caught inside the 35. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. On the ground, Richard. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left.
Let's go.
So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see.
Mike Fofo.
Out.
Richard. And he's got room. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. Oh, that's offline. He hooked it. It's no good. And that changes everything here in OT. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really...
And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Steelers, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now in the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. And for Charles Davis and our entire